Politics are making you toxic.
It's not about. No, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Jimmy Carter died a happy man. You know why? He wasn't the worst president. Joe Biden was.
What the heck, I died?
Wow, Joe, you died already. You suck at Minecraft.
Screw you, Donald. I'm gonna burn down your house and steal your diamond.
Like, think about it. When was the last time you talked to someone on the opposite side of the political spectrum and thought, wow, that was a great use of time, and I feel absolutely hopeful about our future? Probably not recently. Believe it or not, you're not alone in thinking this. In 2023, 80% of Americans had negative sentiment regarding politics. In fact, the top 3 words used to describe politics in America are divisive, corrupt, and messy. And honestly, that's pretty valid. But it got me thinking, which political party is more corrupt? At large, who is more divisive? Who is messier? Objectively, are Democrats or Republicans more toxic? Now I know what you're thinking. How are we objectively gonna measure who's actually more toxic? Well, actually, it's pretty simple. You see, like most people, when I look at Reddit, I see memes, sound financial advice, and most of all, dignified political discourse. And so what I did was simple. I built a Python script that scrapes the top 100 posts and top 20 comments of those posts from the conservative and liberal subreddits. I then programmed an AI agent to take each of those posts and comments and score them from 1 to 10 based on how toxic they are. 1 being extremely toxic, 10 being extremely peaceful, based on this criteria. From there, we can analyze the outputs of this script and see generally if the conservative or liberal subreddits use more toxic language. For example, say you were looking at my YouTube comments and saw one that said, "I think all bald people should die, I hate you." The AI would classify this as toxic and give it a score of 1 because it explicitly calls for violence in a marginalized group of people that have absolutely no control over their genetics. But if another comment said, "Hey, I love your videos, also I have a really cool idea for your next project," the AI would classify this one as super toxic because your idea probably sucks. So that's how that works. Let's run the script and see what happens. So this is our Python script. After we run the script, we get a big CSV file with the top posts and comments of both of those subreddits. From there, we can take that data and then run it through this Python script that will score it, with 1 being severely toxic and 10 being non-toxic or peaceful. And after the AI analyzes all of those posts, we see that we have a total median toxicity score of 6.0. The average level of toxicity is moderate. Now, I started to visualize this data, but this is not very fun to look at. Let's give this data to Claude and have it visualize it for us. After giving the data to Claude, it created this dashboard. So the first thing that we can see here is that the conservative subreddit is less toxic than the liberal subreddit. I also ran a significance test, and with this very small p-value, we can say confidently that this difference isn't due to random chance. Scrolling down, we can also see that the conservative subreddit has 21.6% toxic content, while the politics subreddit has 42.3% toxic content. If we look at the average score by content type, we can see that for both subreddits, the comments are much more toxic than the posts. Again, a higher score means that it's more peaceful, and a lower score means that it's more toxic. Our tests also indicate that the difference between the comments and the posts are also statistically significant. Here is a quick donut chart based on the toxicity of the posts and comments, and here's a histogram that shows the same thing. But with all that being said, we have to remember that the difference is only 1 point. Both are in the same category of moderately toxic. Both really aren't that good. The difference between them is statistically significant. It's marginal at best. So, both parties are toxic? I guess don't forget to like and subscribe, right?
Wrong.
We can't just make a tool to blindly judge others. That's terrible. What if instead of making a tool just to judge others based on their toxicity, we do something instead to help solve the problem? What if instead of trying to prove that we're right, we do something to help listen and validate others? What if there was a free and simple tool that could help you become a peacemaker rather than an agitator? Well, it's too bad that something like that doesn't exist. I'm just kidding, I built one. All you have to do is go to www.peacemaker.love, and it brings you to this website where the sole purpose is to help you become a peacemaker. You don't need an account, you don't need to give me your credit card. The only purpose is to help analyze your political discourse and make you a more peaceful person. But it's really simple. All you have to do is choose one of these topics here, or you can choose your own topic. You can literally enter anything that your heart desires. So for example, if I want to have more peaceful dialogue on the epidemic of male pattern baldness, I can share my perspective here. For the best results, I would suggest following the instructions of giving your raw, unfiltered thoughts about this issue. And your answer can be as long or as short as you want. For this purpose, I'll just give a brief answer. I hate bald people, and I think they should all die. I can now click Analyze Perspective once I fill in my answer, wait for it to load, and once it's done, you can scroll down, and you can see here that I got a score of 1 out of 10, meaning that I have the worst score. This is severely toxic. So pretty good. But now we can see this analysis and see exactly why the AI gave me a 1 out of 10. And And the main reason is a wish for death on individuals experiencing male pattern baldness. I think they should all die is overtly hostile and threatening. Now, this is my favorite part. Instead of just telling you why you're toxic, it'll give you practical steps on how to actually improve. So instead of saying, I hate bald people, try saying, I find male pattern baldness aesthetically unappealing. And that's your opinion, even though it might be wrong. Instead of saying they should all die, try saying, I personally find this trait unattractive and would not choose to be in a relationship with someone who has it. Well, screw you, because guess what? I'm married. And anyway, you get the idea. And if you keep scrolling down, you can go more into depth about what each of these scores actually mean. And the website does not save anything you type into this box. It is using the Gemini API, and so your data is most likely being sent to Google, but they already know everything about you anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. The sole purpose of this website is to help you become a peacemaker. That's it. So what was the point of all of this? Well, one of the most powerful lessons I've ever heard came from a 100-year-old dude named Russell Nelson. He is what many consider to be a modern prophet. One of his biggest teachings, becoming a peacemaker, especially in politics.
Anger never persuades. Hostility builds no one. Contention never leads to inspired solutions. One of the easiest ways to identify a true follower of Jesus Christ is how compassionately that person treats other people.
And honestly, I think this is something that we need more of in the world. Instead of constantly tearing each other down with our words, we can instead take intentional steps to building each other up instead. And so don't make the same mistake that I did at the beginning of this video. Don't go into political conversations trying to tear someone down. Don't go in trying to prove why you're right and they're wrong. Go in with an open mind. Put yourself in their shoes. Most importantly, try to be a peacemaker.
I am greatly concerned that so many people seem to believe that it is completely acceptable to condemn, malign, and vilify anyone who does not agree with them. How we speak to and about others at home, at church, at work, and online really matters. Today I'm asking us to interact with others in a higher, holier way. Brothers and sisters, we can literally change the world. How? By modeling differences of opinion with mutual respect and dignified dialogue.